All right, everyone, welcome back to Lake City Variety episode. Why did you put that near the fan? This is episode 9. We're off to a great start. Levi.
That's right, everybody.
We
have our another audition for Eliot over here.
Another audition for Eliot. We're still waiting.
Standing fan.
We've we've fired all of our writers, and this is going to be just us.
I had actually, I wanted to tell a little bit of story as we were getting into the start of this episode.
Yeah.
I went on a spontaneous adventure probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Oh gosh, now I'm trying to remember the day as my phone blows up with text messages.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was probably around like August 10th or
whenever.
Yeah, something like that.
A couple weeks before recording this.
Yeah. And so I was just hanging out with Eliot, and we did kind of our thing, which is where we like look at each other and we
you look deeply into each other's eyes.
No, we're not really romantic.
And then you kiss.
We're not really romantic, but what we do is we like fake each other out. Where we're like, dude, we should do that thing, and then we're like, nah, but we should do that thing, and it's like, nah. Okay, maybe we should do that thing. And it's like, yeah, maybe we should do it. I don't know. Okay, we're going to do that thing. Yeah, so we did that, and we drove about, 2 or 3 hours up the North Shore, as you do. And I was kind of like, we were like adventuring towards I set a destination. And anyways, longtime listeners of the show know where we exist at. And also where we're kind of placed right now. And so we kind of walked towards this big lake, and we're just kind of chilling on these huge rocks and just having a real heart-to-heart. And he mentioned something to me. He was like, Levi, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Just all this pressure from doing the podcast, it's just breaking me apart on the inside. And I was like...
Wait, did he actually say that? No, I feel bad.
And I was like, it's okay, Eliot. As I stabbed him in the back with my knife. And I threw him into the lake with stones tied around his feet. So he actually can't be a recurring character anymore. I killed him.
Yay. No, did he actually say that?
No, I made that whole story out.
Okay, good.
We could cut that out.
No. It's okay.
The pressure... I don't think much can get to Eliot.
Yeah, you're right. No, that would have made me real sad if he actually felt bad because of the show and he just doesn't want to do it anymore, but he doesn't have the heart to tell me. I'd actually be a little sad about that.
That would be okay, though. At the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that wanted this to be more of a variety show instead of just people talking. And I finally was like, hey, I'm a big fan of Discord. I use Discord for a lot of things, for talking to many groups of friends, if you hadn't noticed. And I get...
I'm on 3 or 4 Discord channels now with you.
With servers that I've made. Yeah, that you're on with me. And I think I've gotten pretty good at building them to the point where, like, things make sense.
Yeah, they're really well organized. And
yeah, everything has a place, and it's kind of how it goes. But it's like, so we want this to be a variety show, and small teaser trailer. I found a lot of Star Wars role-playing games.
Star Wars.
There's a lot of Star Wars, and we're all nerds here.
A lot of Star Wars.
A lot of Star Wars. Star Wars. Found there's a lot of them throughout time, because there's like 2nd edition D&D version of Star Wars, because it's the 70s. And the 80s, and then there's like 3rd edition Star Wars, and then there's like completely different company other than Wizards of the Coast Star Wars, and that's the one we're going to start with, hopefully, because I've been trying to do that. But I built... Oh, hey, Carly. Hey. All right, bye. See you later. Do you want me to do dishes later or no? Oh, you did? Okay, thank you. You're the best.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's pretty great. Yeah. She thought she was going to get fired all weekend. She was so nervous. She didn't do anything wrong. People didn't train her in. and then she felt bad because people didn't train her in.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll just get like, 3-4 friends that I think would like this. But it's like, well, I better make sure that people are available so that they can like actually play with us. And then it turned into like, oh, hey, 12 friends that I know that I'll like Star Wars. Would you like to join my Discord server? Oh, wait, now there's private groups and you have to tell me if you're in a group with somebody. Also, you haven't done this yet.
No,
you didn't know this.
I haven't done much of anything.
You have to be in a group with at least a couple other people, at least 2 other people. And you have to tell me that you're group. And then I will give you a private channel that only your group and I can see.
Okay. How do I solicit people to become a part of a group?
You just have to text Eliot and Bruno and say, "Hey, are we a group? Should we? Do
you
guys
mode?
Like, do you guys have the ability to like play? Do you guys want to play this game? Do you guys want to make characters and then play a campaign together? That's all you have to do, and then tell me for certain whether or not you guys are a group.
Okay, sure.
And then you guys can be group. There's already group. There's group 1, and then you guys can be group A.
Nice.
Because I didn't want it to have it so like someone's group 2.
Alphanumeric.
No,
second place prizes.
There's no second place prizes because you're the first, and then there's this other person who's the first.
As my daddy told me, if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, that's correct.
And well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I built this whole thing, and every time I look at it, it just gets bigger and bigger. There's even a section for people that are like, I don't think I can play. And then there's like a section where they have their own spot because they can't play. But it's like, if you want to hang out, here's your spot where you guys can chat together about stuff.
Nice.
And it's
like, that's sick.
And it's all private, so like you don't even know that those exist because you can't see them.
Well.
Yeah. But that's a teaser.
Sick. Bit of a teaser.
A grand goal I have is if we find one we like, is we're all playing in the same era, and it's different groups. I'd have to get another DM friend for this.
Yeah.
But there's like 2 or 3 different groups. And they're all working for like one group is working for the Hutts, one group is working for the Empire, one group is working for not even the Rebels. It doesn't even have to Rebels or Empire, but just any 3 different, like the Pirates or something
just
like
anything.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like any 3
themselves.
Factions. Yeah, on their own. They could be their own smuggling team. And then like it builds up over a while, and then like the finale.
They kill each other.
No, the finale is all of them racing towards the same goal.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So like, there's like someone stole these plans to something, and they're supposed to be worth a lot of credits. And it's like, you guys have heard about it. And it's like there's subtle hints dropped throughout the entire campaign.
The Death Star plans.
I mean, no. The campaign that, like, or at least the game that we're starting takes place after the first Death Star was destroyed, but before the 5th movie. Technically, second movie. But, yeah.
So, pretty chill time.
Anyway, that's hopefully what will happen. If we can get it going, the first episode of that might be next week or the week after, depending. It also could never happen at all, and that'd be sad.
It would be sad.
But we could have like Edge of the Empire episode 1 with, if you guys can do it,
the mega
Levi, Eliot, and Bruno all together.
Be pretty sick.
Playing Star Wars games, being characters.
What is next Monday, Labor Day?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'm actually free all weekend. It's the
I
one
might be out of town.
Oh, you freaking turd. You twared.
I don't know what to tell you.
Have you been posting much on your Twitter?
No, I've posted. Well,
did you post like one thing or anything here and there?
I post nothing on my Twitter.
Wow. So, last bonus spoiler: we made Twitters and they're bad.
That's right. Well, one of them is a tad more tasteful than the other Twitter.
Mine is the more tasteful one.
Excuse me.
Do you know how many retweets I got for one of my things?
How many retweets did you get for one of your
things? Having one follower, that's you.
Yes.
I got 10 retweets for autism powers sucked my penis on a train.
Okay. I don't think those words should ever be repeated again.
You're right. But people thought it was funny.
That's true. Enough to be
or this one.
10
I can't
times.
read this one out because it's too good. But someone retweeted that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, people are straight goony.
Yeah, people
on the Twitter.
People are like actual trash on here.
But I guess Swaglaguchliami lives on, you know.
Yes, yeah, I forgot that was your name. I mean, that's your real name, so I don't know why I forget that that's your real name all the time.
Well, you know what they say.
It's the bit that never dies. Yeah. It's been a weird week.
Oh gosh, are we talking about our week stuff?
Yeah. You go first, Ben. You apparently got something.
Oh no, like dude, straight up, I've only gone. As the season pertains it for me, the only thing I do is go. Big. How do we describe this? Big trainings Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Big move
Nothing like a
in
big corporate
Wednesday.
event, right?
Dude, big party Friday, 8-hour party. So sick.
Is that the
so much
that's
blackjack
the party?
was dealt. It was the party. So much blackjack was dealt.
Yeah.
I played so much blackjack.
Yeah.
I had so much imaginary money. It was sick.
It's funny that they wouldn't let you play with real money, but they let you gamble.
Well, I mean, that's like we don't necessarily want to give people more gambling addiction or win money because I think that's slightly illegal to not operate without a gambling license.
I mean, only if you're like hosting a thing. Like friendly poker night. I mean, what you guys were doing is illegal because it was a party hosted by something else. And
House party.
Yeah, that's That's illegal. But like,
come spend all of your money
at the house party.
At the house party.
We have a keg of root beer.
We have a keg of root beer. No keg stands were done.
On the keg of root. Who did one last year?
Did anyone do one last year?
I thought someone did one last year.
I don't remember.
I only was there for like 3 minutes because that was like, I actually keep track at work of because as a photographer I keep and a data hoard. I keep every photo I've ever taken.
Nice. Yeah.
Which means I have like 780 gigabytes of compressed photos.
Nice.
In storage.
That's sick.
And I actually did delete a few of them, and I felt so bad. I was like, no, I don't want to get rid of these. Because what if I need them? And it's like cars that have not existed for like 6 months.
You probably don't need them.
Almost ever.
Almost ever. You almost never need them.
I do. Anything in the last like 3 or 4 months, though, I do have to pull up because sometimes people will just like destroy a car in the lot, and they'll blame me for not noticing it earlier. And then I just pull up a picture and say, no, you're an idiot. No, you ran into a lamppost. What do you mean? Why are you trying to?
The car.
Yeah, like you
Stop
destroyed the car. Don't blame me. Don't blame my department. I didn't do anything. It's like I literally make notes on every single car that comes through my department, whether it's like how it looks, like even if it's like minor stuff. Yeah. I make a note of it.
Like some of it's relevant, you know.
Yeah, but like, does it run like garbage? No. Does it have a big old paint scratch on the side? No.
No.
Not anymore, at least. Or like I'll note if stuff was fixed before it got to me. Like that's Anyway.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm at week 51 of my job.
Dude, let's go.
Week 51.
Almost 52. That's
so
a year.
That means I've been back for a year now, because that means I would have come back last week. I've been here for a year as of last week.
I remember the fateful day
when you get a phone call.
Eliot saying, did you call me or did
I think I called Eliot and then he called me.
Yeah, Eliot roped me into it, I think. He was like, yo, Paul's back. And I was like, sweet.
Return of the King. All I did was just say Return of the King when I walked down the stairs. Yeah. The fun part of being the loud giant one in a college group is that
you're the loud
you can
giant
leave
one in a
the college group and then return, and people who you've never met have heard of you.
Yeah.
And that's either a really good thing or really bad.
The Ides and legends of Mr. Almost said your last name.
Yeah, well, that's because we think each other's last names are really cool.
It is true.
At least I don't know. I don't think my last name's cool. I just think your last name is awesome.
He's a tad Scottish. I'm a tad English.
And you're a tad sounds like you're Native American, but you're not at all.
I'm not. Although I am technically Native American, but not my last name.
Yeah.
As I feed the enigma.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's not to feed into a stereotype or anything, but it's really funny.
Yeah. A lot of people have that opinion, and I've grown to both accept it and accept it, basically.
Are those the new hoodies or are those old?
This is about a 6-month-old hoodie. Since those of you...
Can I cop one of those?
You could special order it for like $50 or $60. We did like a one run because they're
shoot.
very spendy.
Yeah,
And
they look good. I like the
my boss
shoestring laces though.
Has issues with buying lots of merch and then not selling it, so we didn't buy lots of merch and not sell it.
Bummer. I would have copped
I
them.
know.
If I'd known those existed, you should have told me.
I literally, so much of my life exists in a vacuum.
Yeah.
It's so hard to describe. Like, my brain is so fragmented.
Yeah.
It's actually absurd, and I feel so bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that Paul didn't snag a sweatshirt.
No, I don't feel bad about that. That's whatever. Anyway, yeah, you got a phone call like a year ago that was like, "Hey, I'm back. You want to help me move in?
Back. Dog.
You want to help me move a giant steel desk?"
Dude, that was sick, though.
Yeah, now
And
you
there
guys are
was-
really good at assembling it, except for you put the
Yeah.
top on backwards now, and I haven't fixed it.
Don't really believe in tops anyways, so.
Other than the fact that I just said you're wearing a hoodie, Levi's topless.
I am topless.
Yeah, he's topless.
Tarps off for the boys.
Tarps off the boy.
That's right.
Is Eliot actually home and he just didn't want to come here, or is he straight up
Oh,
gone?
I have no idea what he's up to.
Because we could just knock on his door.
I haven't seen Eliot in
I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've not seen
kind
him
of
in 2
think
weeks.
he's now
Now I'm worried that you killed him.
I definitely did not for the record, judge whoever's listening to this, I did not kill Eliot.
Don't say his last name.
Almost said his middle name and his last name.
I don't even know his middle name.
I know his middle name.
How did you find that out? No, I think I have.
I lived with him. I saw his mail.
I did. I do know his middle name. It's just been so long that I have to recall it from.
Would you like me to say it on?
No, don't say it on the show.
Okay, that's a bonus episode right there.
We're not giving. The one thing he said before we started the show was, "Hey, I've spent most of my life in avoiding being put on the internet." And then he still agreed to do this show.
It's time to throw everything.
It's time.
To the
I mean,
wind.
he did have to say his social security number.
Yeah. So, anyways, August 12th, I have some alibi that I could definitely look into just for the record courtroom. I did not.
I'll put out
I did
an
not
ad
kill-
in the paper.
I
that
did
says,
not-
alibi wanted
I did
August
not
12th.
kill. You're gonna put out.
I'm gonna put an ad in the
alibi
paper.
wanted.
Alibi wanted August 12th, 6 p.m. to 12.
It was quite a long car ride.
Yeah,
That didn't happen because I didn't kill him.
you could have ditched his body.
He's still
anywhere.
alive. Even though he might turn up dead, I
believe he's alive.
believe he's alive.
Yeah. You ever look at someone's success and then go, "Where did I go wrong?"
Where did I go wrong?
Like, not that you went wrong anywhere because you're doing what you want to do.
That's fair enough.
But you ever just look at like I have relatives that have done very well for themselves.
Yeah.
And I've never been jealous of them in the way it's like, man, I wish I had all these things. Because if I work hard enough, I can just get all that stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really not hard. It's stressful when you don't have a great job, but it's like I have a good job, and I do okay. I do really well at it.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's like I don't make, 200,000 a year.
6 figures a year.
Yeah.
Or
I know my wife and I have a really nice apartment that we're able to use as a studio, but it's like I don't have a $500,000 home in the mountains,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, you ever just look at someone else, not even relatives or anything, but just oh, how'd they do that? Because especially if it's someone you know,
Mm-hmm.
or
yeah.
did know at one point.
It for me as a genuine question.
Yeah.
It really depends, honestly.
Yeah.
If they are very open with who they are and their things, or they know me really well, generally they'll share.
Yeah.
Not like you share people's success, but I don't know, if you got a big fancy house, you go chill at their big fancy house, or you play their PS5 that costs them $1,200.
Who bought the $1,200 PS5? Who did it?
Who
bought it?
This is a figurative example. I actually do not know anybody in my personal life who's bought a PS5.
I know someone. I do have a friend from high school who bought the PS5, but he did buy it, the disc edition, for $500 from GameStop.
There you
So
go.
he was able to snag one barely. He said he waited for 7 months or whatever it was.
But he didn't get gouged.
Yeah, but he
paid
only
the $5.
Yeah.
Plus tax.
So it's like, you know,
$5.45. He paid the $5.50.
Yeah, but like I have I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but I've someone that I went to high school with that, you know, in small town, you know everyone knows you. Just because you aren't close doesn't mean you don't know each other. That kind of deal. So it's not like we were super close friends, but we're just like, you know, we're friends. We were friends.
Yeah, right.
Who is like, I mean, 100 million is a lot, but he's 100 million away from 1 billion views on YouTube. Like 1 billion collective views.
I mean, that's more than one view. That's
a lot. And I saw that today, and I was like, I remember when all he did was videos for school projects. And, like, that's it. And they were funny, but he had, like, 22 views and 1 subscriber. I remember those days. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing when he got, like, his first 100 subscribers, and it was just people from our small town. Yeah.
That's humble beginnings right there.
Humble beginnings. It's the way to go. And now to see him at, like, 3.2 something million subscribers.
Exactly.
Is, like, it's and it's like, some people can do, like, 1 million subscribers in a year.
Yeah.
He's been doing YouTube for 9 years. So he's doing it.
He's kind of built something out of it. You know, it's like, there's like the wave, the like crashing wave, where there's like the gentle build.
Mm-hmm.
More like a gentle build.
Because then you can either be like, well, he is just a straight up variety guy.
Yeah.
He does what we're honestly, not what we're trying to do, because we're not trying to copy him. Yeah. Even though he does have a podcast that I've never listened to.
He has a podcast?
Yeah, I think he has a podcast with his roommate, I think.
Well, let's listen to it.
Nah, I'm good.
Listen to it on the podcast. This podcast.
No, then they know his name.
So? Is he pretty... Anyways.
Well, no, because I don't want to, like, dox him because people know where I'm from.
Sure. So you would be doxing him?
And in an accidental way, yeah.
That'd be pretty rough.
Yeah. It's like... Because it's the point where it's like... You know, when he had, like, 500 subs, it wasn't really doxing because everyone knew him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, everyone's, like, either a friend of him that was subbed to him.
Yeah.
And now it's like, if I say the wrong thing, especially now that we have the smallest platform.
Yeah.
If I say...
Just the teeniest.
If I say his name and then where I'm from, like, he straight up just gets doxed. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
That'd
bad.
be very...
It'd be...
Lack of taste.
Yeah, it'd be distasteful at the very least, and straight up harmful to him at the worst. Anyway, time to be funny, but it's like, I don't know. I see our numbers, and I'm blown away that anyone listens to this. And I know some people that listen to this are like friends, coworkers, and we like relatives appreciate all those, because every single listen you guys give us is one more than we ever thought we'd get.
That's probably the most true thing.
And it's say. Like, to get feedback from people too. Sometimes we aren't funny. Sometimes we really are. And when we really are, it shows. When we're on the ball.
That's right.
What are you doing? What are you looking at?
Oh, I was just looking at our views.
On what?
YouTube.
Oh, yeah. We have a YouTube channel.
Do we have a YouTube channel?
Lake City Variety. Or just Google. You just have to Google it because they don't have a custom URL. Want me to read the URL for?
Don't read the URL. That's
I want to read the URL.
Paul, that is not content. That's shut down.
No, it's content. I'm reading off the URL for our channel.
Don't read off the URL for our channel.
I'm reading off the URL for our channel. Okay.
I'll leave the room if you read the URL.
http://:/youtube.com/channel/U C T CJ A H Q F V 1 2 3 D W 0 Q 5 A S T 6 N Q. That's us. Just type that into your taskbar. And that's okay, Levi, you can come back. You didn't actually have to leave. Oh, you got water.
It was for the bit.
You get okay, use a coaster.
Can I use the ground?
Just don't spill. Okay, for everyone who's not listening, His water. He put it on the ground.
Hey everybody, I just came back. And I just had a very emotionally traumatic experience where I told Paul not to do something and he did it. And so I had to leave the room.
That happens a lot. How do you feel?
Not very good. I need to go process.
Don't leave again. No, I can't do this. I thought, honestly, today I was going to have to do this show alone. And I was like, I don't think I could do that.
Well,
people already listen to me ramble too much in regular episodes. Use a
alone.
coaster. Use a coaster.
Where the F are your coasters? Paul, where are your coasters?
I'm getting a coaster.
This is a little awkward.
Use a stone one that says my name on it.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, your catch.
Oh, should I read it?
No, don't read it.
You fools.
No.
I did have an errant thought pop into my head.
Okay, yeah.
Which is more like geopolitical. I watched a YouTube video the other day that showed the how do you say the holding. It was like a day by day breakdown of the control of the Afghanistan government and the Taliban.
Okay, yeah.
Throughout the months of May to early August.
Yeah.
And it was actually like straight bonkers. I hadn't realized how much. For those of you who don't know very well, Afghanistan is now owned by the Taliban, basically. And so it like day by day showed like the occupations changing, and it was pretty chill. And then everybody started withdrawing troops, and the country just like once the U.S. was like, yeah, we're going, the country was just straight gone.
It was instant. It was
all like literally overnight. They took the capital. They took all the weapons supplies and depots.
Like immediately.
Which was I do not like there's like such a deep inertia that exists.
Yeah.
And like from what I understand, like the previous Afghanistan government had more troops and more weapons and more everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But just the inertia of all of your hope leaving or whatnot, or all of your help
everyone leaving, just thousands of troops leaving, and it was so quick overnight. I
hadn't realized that, and then I watched a YouTube video and I was like, "Holy shirt!"
Yeah, and then there's with any sort of takeover, and then with people being left behind, and it's sometimes people do get left behind, and it happens. That happens a lot, but when people get left behind and then they get killed. There were, 12 Marines and a corpsman were killed, like right away.
Sure.
A corpsman is a Navy doctor, not doctor, but like medical guy that hangs out with Marines. That's the sick. Don't get mad at me. It's the simplest way I can put it. So that's what a corpsman is. Okay. So member of the Navy, not member of the Marines, but he hangs out with Marines to make sure that they don't die. Okay. And Andy, if you recall from the show,
episode 4,
a little upset.
About
his friends, not his friends, because he didn't know them personally, but his brothers dying in a way that they didn't need to die, and then more people dying, and then a drone strike that hit the wrong house and killed like 10 children.
That's really rough.
Did you hear about that one?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. They straight up ganked one because like they were like, the U.S. retaliates Taliban attack on airport or whatever, and then he just accidentally killed the family.
That's kind of rough.
Like they missed it by like a block or something like that, and then they're like they had an interview with the family, and I don't read a lot of the Washington Post or like New York Times or anything like that, but I get because I either I'm too lazy to actually figure out how to get rid of it. Or I do actually like reading the headlines every once in a while. Yeah. My Apple ID for my work email, my work Apple ID. Yeah. By the way, I have an Apple account for my work. That's how much I do stuff.
That's a sick sentence to say.
It is. I have an Apple account for my work, and I get the Apple News feed every morning, and it's just like the head article was just like, we thought it was the Taliban attacking us, but it was just the United States government again.
Oh, gosh.
And it was like, yikes.
I saw, based on my
And I'm not going to add political analysis to anything because my views are my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
If you want to listen to a political podcast, we are more than welcome to, or more than happy to start one because
I don't know if I have the time to start a second podcast at this point.
Yeah.
The political podcast.
The political.
No, I was gonna say
the political podcast.
The political.
The political podcast.
The Paul Levitical podcast.
The Paul Leviticus podcast.
The Paul Leviticus podcast. But based on
I like that. That's
my recent foray into Twitter, actually.
Your recent deep dive?
Yeah. Well, I get stupid amounts of like emails and garbage from them, so I'll have to silence Twitter. But,
yeah. Well, you can here. I'll show you how to get rid of those in a minute. Here.
Oh no! You're good. Like we don't need another episode of us looking at our screen trying to make commentary while.
What are you talking about? That didn't happen.
Desperately being as boring as possible.
No,
but I saw, of course, as the eminence of Swaglaguchliame would obviously have to follow the South Dakota governor, whatever her name is. But
I forget you did that. I mean, I followed the Greek Orthodox Church.
But then, like, it was either her or like someone associated with her like party from the state was like, yeah, based on the things that have happened in Afghanistan, we need to. I'm going to have my party begin impeachment filings against Biden because he is incapable of leading an office or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on a second. Is that what this has become? The moment we see like not just incompetence,
but any mistake,
any mistake or like
any failure.
The moment we like disagree and things happen to go poorly, like we're just gonna
impeach
our excuse
the people for
any
person.
There
just
we
because
go.
we did it twice to another guy, based off of either. I mean, I don't know. The first one was so long ago, I don't actually remember what it was about. But it's like either not liking him or he did something wrong.
Yeah.
It's yeah. If at the point now, it's like, well, we just impeach the president 3 times a year because we can, and he never actually gets sacked.
Maybe it'll go through, but also like, who cares about the rule of law
or
like the trust in the government or its processes or its systems?
Yeah, that's why. Anyway, I was doing my political. Anyway,
there we go. All right, there was the political aspect of this podcast.
There was a political. We're not going to talk about. Hopefully, never talk about. Anyway, have you ever seen the world's longest penis?
Paul, this is our regular episode. You cannot.
Yeah.
Cannot.
It's 19 inches long.
That's my line. I'm sorry. You can't say.
Eliot's not here. He can't.
No, but that's my line. This is a regular episode of the podcast. You just can't bring up the schlong like that.
You want to see it?
I don't. I don't. I'm not desperate enough to make content by.
No, that's not desperation. That's just pure joy.
You're telling me that should we go tell your wife that it brings you pure joy to see?
She's seen the other podcast I listen to. She's listened to the other podcast I've listened to. She knows.
Sure.
She sees me walk around in the shirt I bought from that podcast that I listened to.
I don't know.
You know the one that says regular obese?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite,
I have seen that shirt.
My new favorite shirt, other than my MASH t-shirt.
As I walk around in my campus ministry shirt.
I'm wearing a Carhartt shirt right now.
I know.
I'm just being a lazy boy. My actually tattered and torn. This is actually from getting shot. That's what that hole's from.
You've been shot in a shirt?
Yeah.
There's a story there. What's the story?
I got shot.
Like with a real gun?
No.
It was NAM?
I was back in NAM.
Back in NAM.
Well, it was it was my friend's bachelor party this summer or this spring.
Yep.
There are a lot of weddings this year for my friend's group.
Same. I had quite a few.
I had 8. 8 weddings.
Did not have 8. I had 3.
Yeah, and I was only in one of them because the rest of them are super small. And that's not an issue because I also have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But I was in this guy's wedding, which good friend. Shout out to Ethan. What a great guy.
Dude, shout out to Ethan. No idea who he is.
Real proud of him. Yeah, hopefully you guys can meet him soon. He is in the Star Wars Discord server.
Sick.
He's Strider 11 or whatever that is.
I remember Strider.
Yeah.
Can I tell the story of Strider?
You can tell the story of
this?
Strider after I tell it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, he decided that he wanted to do paintball. Actually, we didn't tell him what we were doing. His cousin and his little brother said, which his cousin's older than me and his little brother's like the same age as me. And I get confused for being their brother a lot because I'm like the same build as them.
Well, you probably are.
Yeah. I'm not their brother. I'm not their brother, but sometimes they'll just go, yeah, that's our older brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But we go paintballing, and we go to like as redneck as you can go.
Nice.
And
very nice.
Like sight unseen, like went to this course. And I'm going to say this. This is my review of the place. It's on County Road X in Chippewa County.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's just off of County Road X.
Okay. Sure.
The arenas for being in the woods and like, being made out of like older stuff.
Yeah.
The woods ball courses are really nice.
Sick.
They are fun.
Cool.
They have like one in the ravine. There's one along a river. There's one that's just straight up got 2 towers in it, and you have to it's like tower defense.
Nice.
Like that's really fun. Cool. Their speedball course is what you want out of a speedball course. It's level. It's got the barriers. It's got all these lanes and stuff like that. It's cool. Good. It's a good speedball course. If the children are reffing, by children I mean the high schoolers that now that I look at them I go, you are a child, and I don't know why I thought I was an adult when I was 13. If the children, because I'm not a child, and I'm in my 20s.
Relatively 20.
So anyway, if the children are reffing, just turn around and go home. It's not worth it to actually stay there. Like, I don't care if it's $40 and you want to go for $40. Just leave. It's not worth it. You get it. I think, did your mic just die?
Did mine die?
Oh, you just hit your switch. Didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah, you hit your switch.
Great. All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm back.
Yeah. Anyway, so if they're reffing, just go. I almost paid one of the younger siblings of my friend.
Yep.
To just shoot them a lot, because if I'd done it, I go to prison. If they do it, they just get reprimanded. And that was the sentence I told the younger brother of the friends whose bachelor party I was at. I was just like, if you shoot him, it's fine. If I do it,
I'm going to prison.
I go to jail. Anyway, so we're there and we're doing the tower defense one.
Yep.
And so I'm being like the rest of them. We had a strategy, and there was supposed to be 2 of us that broke left, like going down the hill and coming up from the rear.
Nice.
And then like the other 3 or 4 of us split off to go to the front and do a cover fire from the front.
Yep. Okay.
And then just like unrelenting.
Just like some straight tactics.
Just straight tactics going on. And none of us, like one of us had played paintball before. I had played paintball like once before this.
Yep. Okay.
But like one guy actually played like pretty often.
Easy. Yep.
Yeah. Like maybe like a couple times a year.
Okay.
That's pretty often for our group. So my buddy that I'm with, he gets tagged, but I don't get seen. I'm wearing my gray. I'm in the dirt. I'm down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay.
And I get her on the back. And the rule is to not be a piece of trash. If you're directly next to someone and you're going to shoot them, don't shoot them point blank. That hurts a lot. That's really mean. Just say, hey, surrender, or just say tag or something like that so they can hear you because you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And they have things over their ears or whatever. So, shout something along the lines of like, hey, you're out. Don't just start shooting on them. So I get in, and I am now directly behind this building that they're in, and there's 2 of them in there.
Yeah.
And they did not see me at all. They have no idea where I am.
Nice.
And I look in the window, and there's one of them. The back of his head is like right at my barrel.
Oh.
And if you know anything about like cheap paintball helmets or masks, there's no back of the helmet.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm not shooting my friend Chase in the back of the head. I do at least like Chase.
Yeah. You want to keep
I do want to have a friend in him still after this. The other one's like far enough away where if I hit him in the leg, it's fine.
Yeah.
But for him, and I just yell, surrender. And then he turns around and unloads on me like face, chest, and this hole right in the middle of my chest
drew
blood. It was like a circle of blood that it drew because he was like inches away from me.
Yeah.
When he pulled, and then it just like kept going down, and then he cut my nipple.
Oh
so like my
my
nipple
gosh.
split open, and then like the center of my chest was bleeding because like the plastic from the paint shells, like the paintball, the ball itself, cut into my skin, and I had to like pull a piece of it out. And I was like, Chase, I told you to surrender, and he was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't hear you. Are you mad at me? I was like, no, but next round's gonna be fun. And after that, I just like I'm never gonna say surrender to anyone else again. I'm just gonna shoot you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's why my shirt has a hole in it.
You're now no longer kind. Your heart's been hardened.
Like all these, this hole's from a paintball. This hole's from a paintball.
Can't believe it just drew blood too.
Oh, like it was bad. I can pull up a picture, but it was really bad.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I've never done paintballing before. Like, what's the? And that was your what? Like second time, first time?
That was my second or third time. Yeah.
Okay. Is it worth?
So that was when he hit me in the hand. That's my left hand holding the
gosh.
front of the gun. All of those are from Chase.
For all those.
That one's from Chase.
Okay.
That's this hole right here.
Okay.
That's all him. That's all he did to me.
That's nutso.
Yeah.
That's just straight up.
Like burst blood. But that one sucked a lot. Here, I'll pull it. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Okay, you should. Yeah.
You know, like whenever you get like a bad like zit and it like pops and then the zit like the pore won't go back in.
Yeah.
That's what this thing looks like, and it's my bicep, and it's a lot of my. And so it's not all these are him.
Trigger warning, everybody.
But like these 4 are all him, and the one on my nipple is from him, and then that one on my arm is also from him.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
So, anyway, paintballing. It's like it's fun. It's a good time. I actually do like it a lot. And I play with people that freeze their paintballs, and that sucks. So it's like rocks.
Why?
It's like because they're jerks.
Well, why would you ever play with them?
Because they own the paintball course.
That's fair enough, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes you eat it to get it.
Yeah. Anyway, you wanted to say something about Strider. You want to talk about Strider?
Oh, dude, Strider! Wow, the greatest D&D character. So, welcome to. Wow, I don't know. Have we ever like dived a little bit into the beginning of D&D at all?
We've never talked about how we started. I know we were at Bruno's house was like really close to, or his apartment was really close to where I was living at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I was talking to him and maybe Eliot, and I was like, "You guys ever played D&D?" And you guys had all said no. And I was like, "What if we just tried it?" And they're like, you guys were like, I don't know if we should play, I remember you guys being kind of
was I ever asked?
You were asked, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, you guys were all kind of off about it. Like, I don't know if we should play. And I was like, no, just give it a try. And you're like, it sounds like a lot of math, and the making a character sounds confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, and then we played like once or twice a week, every week after that.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah. But anyway.
And so this is probably the second time that we had really we played your campaign like probably 2 or 3
homebrew
times, and then
the one that like devolved because you guys asked for broken thing. Well, because I brought in the deck of many things because I thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
Well,
you didn't quite need to do that.
Well, I wanted to because I was like, we're gonna start like a campaign, like a real one. This was just like let's get used to the mechanics. And then I wanted to throw a really cool magic item you would never even expected at you guys.
Oh, except I kind of knew what it was all about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
And now I have a physical deck of many things.
I should
that
see that.
I cannot wait to use.
That would be sick, actually.
Yeah.
That would be super
And I have
sick.
like the 32 supplementary cards that like they're homebrew.
That's also really
but
cool.
But they're effects that you've never even seen before.
Brother.
Yeah.
Give me that deck.
Yeah, they're right there. Anyway.
Anyways, so this is like my first real campaign in D&D, and so I thought it would actually be really cool. One of my like largest childhood fantasies is I read a book series called The Ranger's Apprentice, where
Okay.
Yeah, okay. See?
Yeah.
So basically it's about this orphan child who gets trained to be a super stealthy like hand of the king almost, like you use a bow, you use a knife, you sneak around, you shoot stuff, you solve the crime, you do the thing. And so that large fantasy of like sneaking around with a bow was my whole childhood. And so I was like, oh, I'm totally going to do that. I'll be a ranger. I'll, also there's those like Strider, like Lord. I like just finished Lord of the Rings. I think that summer. I want to say.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, Strider has. I think he has a bow sometimes, or at least he's like very sneaky, like grungy almost.
I think he uses a bow once or twice to fight orcs, and then after that's like mostly sword.
Yeah, and
he does mostly sword stuff because he never really has a chance to use a bow.
Yeah,
he does own a bow.
He doesn't like Unseen.
Yeah, it's on his back, like the string is taken off of it and it's curled up.
But he definitely uses his six sword most of the time.
Like he hunts once, I think, with it.
Yeah. Because that's just what his people do. Anyways.
Yeah, the Rangers.
We could get into the lore of the Rings. That could be one of our variety episodes.
The lore of the rings?
The lore of the rings. We could read the Silmarillion. Anyways.
Let's go through the pallets of filing cabinets of Tolkien's notes.
There we go. Because that's what we need in our lives.
Yeah, because I definitely don't have enough focus on like... Oh, by the way, the Old Republic, that's now Legends and not canon, but also kind of canon, depending on how Disney feels that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have most of that memorized.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I actually like the Old Republic books. The Old Republic was my favorite era of Star Wars. Anyway, back to like fantasy stuff.
That's right. And so I was, I get introduced to the party in the sewer.
Yeah, because we had started and you weren't able to join us for a while. And then I think I asked you to join, and then... Well, you finally were able to.
Yep.
And I was like, and you wanted to be like, I told you, you want to be a ranger, and you want to have in 5e, you can have a preferred terrain.
Yes.
And our campaign was confined to a city. And I was like, your preferred terrain will do nothing here because you will be inside of a city the entire time.
Yes.
But if you choose swamp, I'll let you travel through the sewers like it's a swamp.
And that's what I went for.
Yeah.
I was a swampy ranger.
He was a swamp-ass ranger.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we do some shenanigans, and at some point make our way to a rather interesting manor.
Yeah.
Where we had a whirly bird or something that directed us to that thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like a little sound
dervish
device.
Yeah.
And so this sound device is leading us to this rather large but walled-off manor. And we're sneaking around at night, because that's when you sneak around, is at night.
Yeah, you guys were trying to like break in to get some information about a map.
Yeah.
And about like a robot.
And the robot guy that was worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so we end up climbing over this wall, and
yeah, and it's like midnight, and you guys decide to scale this like 12-foot stone wall.
Yeah.
Into like...
And then we
if you just remember like Assassin's Creed 2, like Ezio's family's home.
Yeah.
That's what they broke into.
Yeah.
Is like there's a courtyard, the home is kind of surrounding it. It's like its own compound. It's people with money.
Yeah, and so we climb up this wall, and also at the same time don't decide to check anything and drop straight down into it.
Yeah.
To I want to say three
shadows. Just
shadow dog-looking things. And so we're
two
like, all right,
two shadow
sweet.
dog-looking things and one shadow person-looking thing.
Yeah.
Because, cutting aside here for a second, in the book, or the campaign I was running, the gardener and his pooches are cursed. And at night, they become shadows. But during the day, they're like regular people.
Yep.
But if you kill them, then the shadow comes out or whatever. But in the daylight, they're very weak. But at night, they become shadows, and they're very strong at night.
Yes.
They're very strong anyway, but they're even stronger at night. Anyway, so they dropped down, and they just found these 3 shadow people.
Yes. And I don't quite remember how it went. However, I think
I remember how it went.
We did some blows. One of us died.
Yeah.
And then...
Like no checks, permadeath. Just straight up permadeath.
Was that Eliot's character?
Yeah, Eliot got permadeath.
Eliot's character died right away, and we're like, oh...
Like 2 things
we
attacked
need to
him.
get out of here.
He died because they sapped his strength away, and then he became a shadow.
So Bruno and I's character, and then also I think Tiny Man also died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiny Man also died.
Bruno's character's girlfriend died.
Yeah. Well, no, we're
later,
not. We haven't.
Later.
Yeah,
anyway.
And so I end up helping Bruno's character out of this. I boost him up onto the wall, and then he just books it.
Yeah.
And I die at the hands of these shadows. He left me to die.
It's Bruno's fault. He left Strider to die.
This was
Barack left Strider to die.
Barack left Strider to die.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that was one of the saddest nights that I've experienced of D&D, but it was definitely one of the saddest nights I've experienced.
Yeah.
To be told to write up a new character.
Yeah, not even like your character has a chance. Like, I need you to make a new character now.
Which is like no longer living.
And I had spent time doing like backstory stuff on this, getting them each custom like magic items. And then I remember Eliot, after he lost his first character, ran into the worst string of luck of all time, where not every session, but pretty much every other session from then on, his character would die.
Yeah.
Or get captured. Or get like knocked down to 0 but not die. He went through 4 characters, I think, in a campaign.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he was so sick of it. He's like, I'm playing an old dwarf that sucks. And then he did a thing, and then it made him good at magic again.
Yeah.
And he was like, no! And then he lost that character too.
I liked the old dwarf.
Yeah, the old soldier. He didn't even have a name. He was just called the old soldier.
Not only that, but
and then he was cursed, and I rolled random on the curse table, and it made him like 100 years younger. And so his dwarf, who was like on death's door, is now like back in his prime.
Yeah. Well, don't they become a monster too once they get too old?
Only if they're like crazed by mithril or gold or whatever. Only if they're if they're like deep in the mines forever, then they become the dwarger. Which are like
the Skyrim undead people.
Yeah, Dwemer. Yeah.
Hit you with axe and they like go Fusro Da.
Yeah. No, that's not the undead. They're not undead. Yeah. They are still living. They're just gold cursed. They have like gold fever. And so
they just live for gold basically?
Yeah, they like always mine, and they're insane because they haven't seen the surface in like eons.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. You haven't seen outside in a while.
No, I haven't. I'm also mining for gold. How did you get here? I can neither confirm nor deny how big my mine is right now.
And where?
What do you mean? It's a great place to hide bodies. I don't need to hide bodies. Eliot is still alive.
If he's still gone next week, I don't believe you.
I'm not going to show you where to get into my mine so you can find his body.
Yeah. It's real convenient that he wanted to do it last Friday instead of today because he'd been available, and then you weren't available, so we couldn't do it.
It's also really, well, irregardless. He's still alive.
I don't know.
Under my knowledge, anyways.
Yeah. Sure. Got back into Ace Combat again.
Did you actually? We talked about Ace Combat.
We did.
And then you got into it.
Yeah, I got into it really hard. For those of you who don't know, well, yeah, I talked about it last week. Ace Combat is one of the greatest video games ever created. It's the best plane pilot anime video game you'll ever play with no anime in it.
Is it multiplayer?
There is multiplayer in it, but there's no multiplayer co-op. It's only like dogfight multiplayer. Like,
do we have to fight each other?
Yeah,
then?
No, it's like 8v8 or whatever.
Oh dang!
Yeah, it's really cool. Or there's like battle royale where you're just a plane and there's like 8 or 16 of you or whatever, and you're fighting all the other planes there. And
I'm sensing one of our episodes has to be dogfighting.
It's just, but there's no split screen.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's no split screen, unfortunately. So you'd have to bring your PlayStation.
I don't believe in split screen. I also don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, you do.
I have a PS2.
I'd like to play your PS2, please, because then I can just get Ace Combat 2 and play it on the PS2, which it was a PS1 game. But anyway.
I don't know if I can play it. Do I have backwards compatibility?
That's a good unless question. You have like the bad slim one. Do you have the thick boy?
I don't have the thick boy. I
have
do
you have the second era slim, or do you have the first era slim?
I have the oh gosh, the 2007, 2008 slim remake.
The PS2 or PS3?
For PS2.
Okay. I don't know, man.
I honestly can't tell you if it
has backwards compatibility, that'd be great.
It would be sick.
Only some I think all PS2s have backwards compatibility. Only some PS3s do.
Yes.
Like the original fat one, and then the 60 gig, but not the 120 gig slim.
Yes.
It has backwards compatibility. Which
PlayStation kind of ganked it.
Yeah, and I see people advertising like their PS3 Slims on Marketplace, and I really want a PS3 Slim or just a PlayStation 3 because PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility. At some point, I'd like to own a PlayStation 5, and that has backwards compatibility to a PS4, so I can just sell my PS4.
So you just play all the games on
Yeah, because I want to have like a PS5 and a PS3.
It'd be cool to play it. I kind of want to get a PS3.
Because then I can get like Crash Bandicoot, all the Ace Combat, because a lot of the Ace Combat games came out on PS2. And I haven't played any of those because they came out on PS2 and I didn't have one.
Have you been to that game store in the mall?
Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that has all the PS3s at it?
Does that one have PS3s there?
If we're talking about the same place, yeah.
Is it the one where the giant giraffe is just outside and there's like fossil footprints you have to follow to get there? Is it by the food court?
No, there's like a
it's by the
used
food
game
court.
store. You know what I'm talking about? It has
In
like
the mall?
Magic cards. It has like PS2, PS3 games, Xbox games.
In the mall.
Yeah, you've never been to that place? We should go.
Oh, no. Oh, it's by like the sports memorabilia place.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've been in there once.
They sell some consoles.
Do they?
Yeah.
People want like $100 for a PlayStation 3 though.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like I'll give you 60. I'm not going to give you $100 for PlayStation 3.
Makes me want to like inherit a PS3 more than anything else.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like I said,
need to
my
find
parents.
a new friend named Elliot or something. You know, just for
Elliot has
example,
PS3, does he?
Oh, I don't know if he has a PS3. He doesn't have
You
much
also
of anything if he's
Elliot
dead.
has like Bruno's PlayStation or Xbox 360, doesn't he?
Does he actually?
Well, because it was just left there, wasn't it?
Maybe it
No,
was.
it was like Tony's or something like that. Someone just left a 360.
There's an Xbox 360 at his house.
Yeah, and there's no power cord for it, so they can't actually use it.
Well, there's one that's usable right now.
Yeah, there's one.
Maybe that's the same one.
I don't know. I remember going over there like when I was a freshman though, and then just playing Gun Game with Bruno.
Dude, Gun Game is
and
hilarious.
Dom. Remember Dom?
Oh, I remember Dom.
Dom was cool. Dom was like the first Christian dude that I met that had a piercing.
Dom is sick.
And I was like,
Dom
is that allowed? He's like, yeah, whatever.
He was like, yeah, whatever, dude.
In his Dom voice, which I can't do an impression of because I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, no, Dom's cool. He got engaged, didn't he? Yeah.
Yep, he just got engaged.
Shout out to Dom.
Shout out to Dom.
Champion. We're so
Dude,
we're happy for you, dude.
I've been waiting a long time for this engagement.
Yeah, it's
really
been like 3 years in the making.
It's
Like,
been
didn't they start dating when I left?
They started dating, like at the beginning of his internship year, I think.
Yeah. So
that was like when I was a junior.
Yeah, it's like when I left.
So they've been dating.
Yeah.
What, junior, senior, last year? Yeah, you're pretty close to
like
right.
3.5 years.
3.5 years,
yeah.
3 years, something like that.
Yeah, a long time. I mean, a long time for me because my wife and I dated for like 7 months.
Yeah, exactly. We got some people have a different pacing, and that's okay.
Yeah, it worked for us.
Yeah,
we actually got married 9 months after we started dating.
That's the play.
Mm-hmm. It works out for us. We like it. Why wait, right?
Why wait?
I like how we don't know our breathing exercises for this yet, and so sometimes we get really out of breath. And
I've straight up have not been having a good time with my intestinal gas, and so I've been burping every time.
Oh, that's
I've
burping?
been moving. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't want one of the 15 Cokes that are in my fridge right now?
I would love one of the 15 Cokes, and also would hate it because I'd probably stay up way too late and I need to sleep. Yeah. And also,
can I interest you in a piece of cheese?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Don't give me cheese.
I'm going to give you cheese.
Don't give me cheese.
I'm going to give you some cheese.
Don't give me cheese.
I'm going to give you cheese. Anyway.
I'm going to stab you.
I
will be the only person on this podcast.
You don't know how to upload these.
I did not kill Eliot B. But I will.
Don't say his last name. Don't say his last name. No, don't.
I did because you're gonna blurp it out of the audio file.
I'm gonna blurp it out.
This is the only edited part of the podcast.
No, it's
everybody.
the one. It's his one request. I
was
can't
his
not
one
do it because it's
request.
funny to leave it in, but I can't.
You
do
actually
that.
can't leave it in.
I actually can't. It's the one thing he requested.
And we respect wishes here.
Yeah, we do.
Unless, of course, you want to leave the podcast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you kind of leave life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you didn't kill Eliot. Don't say his last name.
I'm not going to say his last name because it doesn't matter anymore.
Make it fair. Say your last name.
I'm not going to. My last name has already been said on this podcast.
Yeah, but not in
reference to
context
myself.
to who you are.
If I say my last name, it's getting blurped out.
Yeah, okay.
That wasn't convincing. I'm not saying it.
I'll blurp it out.
If you whip it out, you're blurping it. That's
name
my
is
only
Paul.
beep.
Yeah, if you don't think I'm going to blurp that out, bring it on. Say your last name.
Your real name is Brad?
My middle name is Brad, yeah.
Dude, my middle name is Doug.
Levi Douglas.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that.
Oh, no.
That's pretty good.
I'm not a Doug at all. But
Yeah.
you can call me Doug if you want. Dougie, even.
Dougie.
That's right.
Dougie Berman.
Dougie Berman.
Dougie Berman, the executive producer for Car Talk.
What the F is Car Talk?
You've never heard Car? It was on.
I have heard of it. I don't know what it is.
So these two guys that are actually really smart, but they sound like they're hicks, are from like Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Okay, sure.
They went to MIT. They both have PhDs in mechanical engineering.
Okay.
They decided to become car mechanics
Oh, sick.
with their PhDs, and like they were teachers as well at like Harvard and
Oh,
MIT.
sweet.
It's like
They probably make more money as
Oh,
car
they,
mechanics.
They made more money as car mechanics. But NPR wanted a show where, like, for the everyman.
Yeah.
And you got to speak into the mic if you're going to say
I do.
yeah.
I said yeah.
Okay.
I confirmed.
And so they started it off, and they're like, like someone pitched the idea of them to do, like, a call-in, like, what's your car problem? And we'll diagnose it for you over the air.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So it's a lot of people calling in and going, my car makes a noise. And they're like, oh, your radiator fan is hitting something. And like a lot of times it's like, and then sometimes they'll get calls in and they're like, I have an issue with my horse eating my steering wheel. What can I do about it? Yeah, and they'll get like really weird like problems that people have, and it's like it's really funny. One of the guys, they're actually, you remember the Rusty guys from Cars?
Oh yeah.
The Rusties guys?
Are they them?
They are them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
Don't drive like my brother. And don't drive like my brother.
So,
Yeah.
if we ever want to do the caller talk show,
I need you to make a beep
On
sound
the
so I
phone.
can transfer that into it. So give it a second of silence so you can make a beep.
beep.
Okay, that's perfect.
I am robot.
I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to put that over all the names that were said because you ruined it.
I did not ruin anything. However, Eliot
Don't say his last name.
might have been ruined by me. I can neither
All
confirm
right, we're going
nor
to cut.
deny.
We're going to get going.
Alrighty.
We've been
Welcome.
the Lake City of Lake City variety.
That's right.
We've been the lake and the city. The variety is gone.
In fact, I am the lake. Paul is the city.
And the
And
variety.
the variety.
Don't. No,
Well,
no. The variety.
Mr. Variety isn't quite here anymore. But that's okay. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
You know where to find us.
If you're listening now, you know where to find us. But we're on Apple, Spotify. If I can get on Audible, I will, but I don't know how to do that yet.
We'll get there someday.
YouTube. We have an Instagram that I post to sometimes.
And we're on Patreon with
We have
those
Patreon.
sick bonus episodes.
Yeah.
Last week's not a good episode.
It was longer than most, and it was funnier than most because of the words said.
That's fair enough. We did say the P word. Well,
Not that P word though. The other one.
oh yeah, we said penis a lot.
And then Levi said the N word. No, he did not.
I did not. That's my second request. Is if I ever say the N word, it's getting bleeped out.
If we ever said the N word, or if anyone ever says the N word on here, the N word is knowledge. That's not. That's okay.
Dude, we got some
The
fat knowledge.
3 N's: knowledge,
knowledge, and knowledge,
knowledge, know-how, and
and noodles.
no, it has to start with a K. No, because that's the bit.
Knowledge, know-how, and knives.
They
Eliot will be back next
That's
week.
the surgeon's creed. Knowledge, know-how, and knives. All right, we've been Lake City, The variety will come back next week, hopefully. All right. We'll
See
catch you
ya.
later.